Oh, well, folks, and I've returned to last Epoch. I have to give the game a second to let me... Got to switch the speakers. The game does let you switch audio things, but it will only let you switch... Like, say if I'm switching from the speakers to the headset. I can do so and it will acknowledge them, but it will only kick in once I go back into the game. Increased crit. Sure.
A terror's blessing. Prayers be with you.
Pardon, if it isn't much trouble, I got word of some of the soldiers getting lost in the Highlands. And it was my niece. She's no fighter. Like me, all she wants to do is tend to the gardens, but at desperate times. I'm afraid something happened. I'm worried, you know. Highlands are Osprey's territory right now. They were to scout over, but they should be back by now. Anyway, if you do find her, let me know how she's doing. Thank you.
Herots offered protection. More than protection. An alliance. But the truth is, we know little about him or his people.
Goddamn spammers.
Everything okay? Where's Balthus?
Shard. Enter the Highlands. So much for these being timid, eh?
No room.
Thought I did that. Nice speed. Right, crit, stun chance, chance to bleed. I went to do it but got distracted, then forgot.
A terror's blessing. Prayers be with you.
Ah no, I got distracted by him. Is it true when keeper heads got kidnapped? Yes, was grabbed by a drake. You saving them? Don't envy you. Heard their camp grows larger by the day. Be nice if Bray was still here. Heard he got caught up in something in the mountains. Think he got what it takes? The offspring still scare me. Right, guess we need to look at my shop. So I'm here. He apparently found something and the keepers don't seem to mind him yonking an artifact. Vel's glass catalyst. Just noticing that is a different color. This is a different color. I thought it was just a yellow one, but that's so deeper of red. That's so deeper yellow. So I'm not sure. And like, look at the color on it. It's more yellow there, but that's more white. It's because it's the equipped thing. No. Weird.
Right.
Delightful. Huh. One, two. Knocks back and stuns for 1.5 seconds. Nah, that's fine. There's a fair cleave to it, but it doesn't. But it's not. It's not that long a range. Nice. Like it almost feels more side to side than forward. Swing over this way and grab down. I'm encountering more rares this time. Pack of rares. Come on, just get closer. Okay, that's the token's just the pad. Drives after 3 seconds. Increase attack. Running with a shield of only got the loot the first time. What about XP? Did I get him? Forge soul.
Aid me.
57 versus 42, but then you get storm bolts. Do spell lightning damage with added damage applying at 100% effectiveness. Increased area for area skills. Stats apply to the melee attack and to the damage area of the storm bolt, but not the area in which the enemies are targeted by the storm bolt. It was a trap. The Osprix used this as bait, sent out a distress signal. Want to ambush anyone who... Rest now. You did good. Whenever you use Gathering Storm, you gain mana per active storm stack up to a maximum. 5. Right, penetration. They now consume proportionate current mana to deal more damage. 1%. Damage per 10 current mana. 3%. Two-Eyed Storm. Whenever you expend a storm stack while dual wielding, you can now cast storm bolts at 2 enemies instead of 1. Two-Eyed Storm. Friends of the Tempest. If you have from 1 to 15 storm stacks, your minion's lightning skill hits have a chance to grant you a storm stack. Clouds on the horizon. They target enemies from further away. Target area increased by 25%. Up to 50. Ghanaian Diplomacy. While wielding staff, the melee attack of the Gathering Storm is placed by a direct ranged cast of Storm Bolt. Gathering Storm costs additional mana. Whenever you hit a boss or rare enemy with a Storm Bolt, you have a chance to cast it again at the same enemy after 0.25 seconds. 20%. Whenever you expend a Storm stack, you have a chance to cast Storm Bolt at an additional enemy. 8% per point. Gathering Concentrated Storm. Deals more damage and you expend the stacks more frequently, but they target enemies within a smaller area. 8% per stack. So you can counteract that by getting that. 8, 16. It'll be 32, yeah? So if you get this and that, then the target area still does get larger with more damage and more frequency. It just wouldn't be as large as if you got this on its own, but still better than that. In the Eye of the Storm, whenever you expend the stack, you have a chance to cast Maelstrom. Surrounds you with a freezing Maelstrom that deals cold damage over time to nearby enemies. Can be cast repeatedly to create multiple Maelstroms at once. So 10% chance, so the more you expand, the better. Storm gathers, just a chance to get a new one. Nice. Gathering Storm has improved base critical chance for a stack of Maelstrom on you from any source. So it's just a 1% chance per Maelstrom that you cast yourself or cast through this. Jolting Strikes. Storm Bolt's hits have a chance to shock enemies. Gathering Storm deals more melee damage to shocked enemies. Earth Smasher. Gathering Storm and Storm Bolt's base lightning damage is converted to physical. Consequently, this damage scales with increased physical damage but not lightning. Shock chance on hit from all sources converted to armor share chance for Gathering Storm. Swaps Gathering Storm's lightning tag for a physical tag. Gathering Storm deals additional physical melee damage per strength while wielding a two-handed weapon. That's interesting. Just converting it from lightning to physical, because we're probably going to have a lot of physical bonuses, so that could actually be pretty useful, but it is a subjective thing. Frostbringer. Instead change it to cold. Could be useful. Of ice and snow. Hits have a chance to chill enemies and a higher chance to freeze them. Higher chance to freeze enemies per 2 achievement. Additional cold penetration for frostbite per 2 achievement. Tempest weapon. Deals additional spell damage per 3 melee damage on your equipped axe or mace. The added spell damage granted by this effect is significantly reduced when applied to a storm totem through its unmatched storms. It's halved. Island Cleaver. Gathering Storm's melee attack damage deals... A melee attack deals damage in a larger area, and you have a chance to gain an additional storm attack if you hit at least 3 enemies with the same melee attack. Wings of Lightning. Whenever you use Gathering Storms and hit at least 1 enemy, there's no need for the apostrophe S. Whenever you use Gathering Storm and hit at least 1 enemy, you gain a stack of Wings of Lightning. Each time one of your Storm Crows attack, they consume a stack of Wings of Lightning, closer to basic attack to chain 2 times. Nice. Gathering Storm states have a chance to consume mana to grant additional Storm stacks. 6 mana consumed. 1 stack per point. 6 mana per point. 1 stack per point. So up to a maximum of 3 points. So we'll consume a maximum of 18 mana and give an additional 3 storms. Its chance to consume mana is 25%. The Typhoon. You've increased global stun chance and additional freeze rate multiplier per active storm stack up to a maximum. Maximum of 10. Do that. Greater Cleave is always a good thing. Not sure why this is over there.
Etera's blessing.
Yes. The distress call in the Highlands turned out to be a trap. There was never a mention of a distress call. He just said, like, hey, our scouts never came back. There's no mention of a distress call. Maybe they were out scouting the distress call? but there is never any mention of one. So this is kind of, it feels like we walked in the middle of a different quest. What? But we have people check that out. Are they okay? I spoke with one. Have they returned? They have not. Oh, Tara. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you for checking in. I must recover their bodies once it's over. Spread them in the gardens. Into the gardens. Here, for your trouble. It isn't much, but I'm grateful for you checking this out. Condolences.
Prayers be with you.
Yeah, this bit feels kind of clunkier. I don't remember feeling that this clunky first time through the game. And I'm not sure why the area is resetting. I've never had this issue before. I guess I'm heading back. Maybe I should throw my portal elsewhere, but get to keep fighting the two bosses, so it's again will give me a chance to get something more useful. Let's stick with what I have. More stats is always useful. Not bad. One, two.
Right.
Alright. Have we seen this design of thing before? Seems kind of familiar. But yeah, the plan is I'm just gonna play for so long. I'm gonna play only so much of Last Epoch. I'm only gonna play so much of Last Epoch. It depends how long my interest lasts. I could get very into this and play a ton of it. Level up, play as much as I did it the first time round. Or this is last time. So just keep this in mind, eh? It's kind of already said something like this previously, but I'm saying it again. If we gain damage when hit, increase attack speed. never-ending bastard sword. The dog does actually have a cleave to its attack. Seems all attacks. It doesn't seem like all attacks have a bit of AoE to it. Tempest Strike. We'll have a look into this. A melee combo attack cycles through a cold strike, a physical strike, and a lightning strike that triggers elemental tempest spells at the same damage type if it hits at least one enemy. Cold strike triggers frigid tempest, which is a cold projectile that pierces through enemies. Physical triggers a wind tempest, which is a small twister that lasts a short duration, dealing physical damage over time. Over time? Expanding storm of lightning bolts. 16 damage, 148 estimated. 1, 2. Okay. Increased spell damage, minion spell damage. Spell attack, increased melee damage, and melee damage reaches life. Passives. You and your minions deal 50% increased melee damage. And you get one extra minion. When leaving transform state, you gain 70% damage reduction 2 seconds, 20% increased life, health, and mana. Oh, that's capitalized, and that isn't. -5 total mana cost. 10 attunement, 50% elemental resistance when you control total. Yeah, definitely Beastmasters. But what's here? Ursine Strength. You have additional strength and take less damage from nearby enemies. 2% per point. Feline Bond, dodge rating, companion dodge rating, revive range. Melee damage. Aspect of the boar. When hit by a melee attack, a buff that reduces damage taken by 15% to 2-second cooldown. 2-second cooldown, and by default it lasts 1 second. But you can buff it up to 5 seconds. Archer's Loyalty. Lets your companion do 80% more damage, increases their size by 15%. I'm not sure the benefit of it being larger, but you can only have one. I do kind of like having a herd of them. Ambush. Every 5 seconds, your next melee attack deals increased damage and grants aspect of the shark for 3 seconds. Buff that increases melee damage by 75% and melee attack speed by 10. Next melee attack damage increased by 25% per point. That's insane. Prey Thief. Melee damage reaches health 1.5% per point. Minion melee damage reaches health, same. Minion increased minion health reach 20% per point. Tusk Warrior. Grants increased physical damage. Aspect Boar also grants increased physical damage and chance for attacks and spells to cause enemies to bleed. Call the Pack. You and your companions have additional health, and you and your companions are healed whenever you use a companion ability. Aspect of Shark now lets you shred armor. Increases minion attack speed, move speed, cast speed, and revive speed. Natural fortitude increases your strength, health regen, and health regen for companions. And 6-point bonus, that doesn't scale, increases your health regen by strength by at a rate of 2%. Aspect of the Boar also grants you bleed if you oh, it gives the bleed we inflict additional physical penetration. There's Envenom, which gives us a chance to just poison enemies. There's Axe and Claw, which is just a damage boost to our minions' physical, melee physical. Hunters at Deep. Increased duration of Aspected Shark by 60% at max, and lets our companions gain it as well, which is nice. Aspected Boar gains additional damage reduction and now also gains increased health regeneration. And our attacks have a chance of granting Aspected Boar itself. So we don't need to be hit anymore, we can just do the hitting. It's only a 4% chance though. 20% at max? Well, that isn't actually bad. That would be like 1 in 5. You can't really say every 5 hits, but yeah. It's not bad. Hawk Wings. Your minions have increased dodge rating, and you and your minions have a chance to gain haste on hit. Up to it being guaranteed if that keeps going as it is. Haste is just a 30% move speed increase. It's nice, but it's not that nice. You've increased vitality and a higher endurance threshold. Your endurance and endurance thresholds from all sources also apply to your companions. Each point of vitality increases health by 6 points and 1% of poison and necrotic resistance. Endurance reduces damage you take below your endurance threshold. You have a base endurance threshold of 20% of your maximum health. Endurance is capped at 16%. You gain health and have a chance to be granted Aspect of Shark for 3 seconds whenever you kill an enemy. 7 hit points per point, and 5% chance to gain Aspect Shark per point. Viper Fangs. You and your companions have increased melee attack speed. When you hit an enemy, you have a chance for you and your companions to be buffed with Aspect of Viper for 3 seconds. A buff that grants a 100% chance to poison on hit, and 100% increased damage over time. Avian Shelter. You have a higher endurance threshold, and you and your minions have additional physical resistance. Critical Links. You and your companions have increased chance to critically strike. When you use companion ability, you and your companions are granted Aspect of Links for a duration. A buff that grants 100% critical strike chance and 100% increased stun chance. The on-kill effects of Circle of Life also have an equal chance to trigger when you hit a rare or boss enemy. This is Circle of Life. So the on-kill effects is Aspect Shark and the heal. So just hitting a rare or a boss could set off Aspect of Shark, which is increased melee damage by 75% and melee speed by 10%, and its chance heals. Not bad. Ocean Maw. Aspect of the Shark is more effective and lasts longer. 15% per point. That's insane. And increases duration also by 15%. Yeah, that's nice. Natural Bond. Limited to only one companion, but it increases companion damage by 75% and health by 75%. which stacks with Arthur's loyalty, presumably, which is 85%. So you would have a companion doing like twice their damage. There, it's quite nice. Nature's Embrace, +1 maximum companions. I'd probably go with just more companions rather than quantity over quality. Increase the length of Aspect of Viper and grants you poison penetration. Serrated Claws. Your companion's critical strikes deal more damage than Aspect Links now grants also grants critical strike damage. Critical multiplier 10% per point. Companion critical multiplier 10% per point. Aspect Links 10% per point. Ancient Might. Strength +1 per point. Melee physical damage 1 per point. Minion melee physical damage 1 per point. Aspect Links also grants percentage damage to each as health when you officially strike. Damage reaches health on crit when Aspect Links. Wait for Aspect Links 3% per point, so 15. All aspect buffs from this tree last longer, 10% per point, up to 100%. Aspect Shark can now stack up to 10 times, but it is significantly less effective. It's 60% less, but you are getting 10 stacks. So if you get enough stacks going, then it's fine. The issue is getting enough going. Every 5 seconds you get Aspective Shark for 3. But then there's a plenty of duration increases around the place. Like there's one that will just flatly double it to 6. But then there's this that will increase it by much more than that. So 2 would be 30, so 4 would be 60. So 6 will be 90. 4 will be 120. Ugh, fuck, I'm tired. My head's a little frazzled. I'm gonna stop for a sec. Hey, folks, and I've returned, at least for a time. And I'm actually gonna give a try to controller here. God, this feels so slow. There's a chest over here. Regional it's like special chest. Don't know what the terminology they want for it it's called. But yeah. Let me leap. Actually, how would leap even work with this? Ooh, some splint. At least you can die with someone, eh? Okay, this will just target enemies. Oh, those are interesting. Not all Rise soldiers are without conscience. Renegade stash. Yeah, the lore for the Templar is that we are renegade.
No room. No room.
I kind of dislike clicking the right stick because it's after taking damage from the amount I've clicked it playing SOD. There we go. Get rid of it. Rending Bastard Sword. Melee void damage. Kind of weird to see void here, given that it hasn't become a thing yet. Hold off on deciding, but we'll get rid of that. Sword Deserter's Renegade Shield. Sentinel Body Armor. Level 15, Jesus. 1 strength, 12% increased damage over time, 20% increased leech rate, 29% stun chance. Vital Infantry Helm. Sentinel Helmet. Took a while for that to actually sell. Increase chance to find potion, increase cooldown recovery speed. Avian Helm of Deflection. 22 armor, increased stun chance, physical resistance, fire resistance. Stick with what we have. Increased physical damage, fire resist, move speed, void resist. Reduce physical damage, increase lightning damage. That is actually great for me, because I do lightning thing.
Right.
I'll be selling those at a later point.
And who are you?
One, two. Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of this constantly resetting. Huh. Overburdened with. Huh. I think that said probably Golden Corsairs or something? Don't know what he just said there. Aid me? Eat me? Spiteful. Briefly gains damage when hit. We're gonna be leaving again soon. For instance, when allies die, hunt high stun avoidance.
No room.
Yeah. Gonna be leaving again to clean out my inventory. One, two. Getting too tired. Alright, next level, I can get another wolf. So, one. Let's say, so... One here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 versus 1, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, works out the same way either way. I thought as much, but wanted to actually go through to be sure. Oh, never had a look at this. Expensive. Agonian shamanism. If a Chance to gain a stack of Gladiator Lagon when you cast Tempest. If the melee attack does not hit an enemy, you consume a stack of Gladiator Lagon to cast Tempest of respective type. Gladiator Lagon is double the effect on your totems, and Storm grows if you release 50 intelligence. Grants them additional spell damage 3 times per second. Right. Shared spell damage buff 1 per stack. Well, per point. Storm Riding Companions. Tempest Strike penetrates enemy physical resistance per active physical minion. Cold per cold minion, lightning per lightning. Wolves are a physical minion by default, becoming specialized into either cold or lightning. Whenever you cast Tempest, you also gain a portion of your endurance threshold as health. Yeah. Druid's Call. When transformed and use any melee attack and hit at least one enemy, you chance to cast each Tempest of a matching damage type. So, not useful. You now create a Tempest totem that casts Tempest corresponding type. Storm stacks when you use Tempest Strike and hit at least one enemy with the melee attack. Storm bolts cast this way deal more damage, 60% more. Oof. Additional damage when using an axe or mace. Additional spell damage when using a two-handed weapon. See an easy answer there. Grounded Refuge. Removes Thunder Tempest, increases attack speed, and reduces mana cost. Warm Shelter. Seas. So you can remove the entirety of the... That's interesting. What you can do with this, like this sword, this attack, Tempest Strike, has two sides to it. It's a combo. You cycle between, I think it's Cold Strike, Physical Strike, Lightning Strike. And if they hit at least one enemy, they cast a Tempest spell that does that damage type again. But with this part of the tree here, Warm Shelter removes the Frigid Tempest, removes the Wind Tempest, removes the Thunder Tempest. It removes half the combo, but doesn't remove the Elemental Strike. And if you remove additionally spelt wrong. I don't think it needs the A. I don't think so anyway, but I'm rather tired. Oh no, the A should be one to the right, the N should be one to the left. That's it, I think. I'm way too tired right now. So, 20% increased attack speed, 4 mana off on Hold to Treat 'em. So if you get rid of all, that one half of the thing, you get a 60% attack speed boost and negative 16 mana cost to this attack. You make it free. You can actually make the move free if you remove half of the move. So you recover mana whenever you use Tempest Strike and hit an enemy, and it doesn't cast a Tempest. So you get 5 mana back. So it's very easy to turn that into just net positive. Crushing Waves. It deals additional melee damage per 2 attunement. All melee strikes have a higher chance to freeze enemies. Tempest Strike deals more melee damage in a larger area. These effects are doubled while wielding a two-handed weapon. Tempest Strikes has increased attack speed and less mana. Again, very easy to make this free. Wonder if you can go into negatives. Tempest Strike penetrates enemy resistances per your uncapped resistances corresponding to a specific type. Physical pen per 5% uncapped physical resistance 1%. Thunder Tempest shocks enemies as hits. Additional Thunder Tempest Strike deals more damage to shocked enemies. When you cast Thunder Tempest, you also cast it around your nearest storm totem. Frigid Tempest chills enemies on hits. It hits. Additionally, Tempest Strike has a higher chance to freeze enemies. While channeling Avalanche, you now cast Frigid Tempest per second. Whenever you cast Wind Tempest, you and your allies touches gain haste for a short duration. Tempest Strike deals more damage when you have haste, 8% per point. Ceaseless Typhoon. Whenever you cast Wind Tempest, you also have a chance to cast Typhoon. This consumes mana equal proportion of Tornado's mana cost. 110%. 30% chance. Tornadoes cast with Wind Tempest deal more damage in a larger area. So 15% per point, 10% per point, so 45% and 30% at max. This is actually pretty interesting. This is the move they're talking about. Tornado. Lasts longer. Deals more damage but costs more mana. 5% per point. Oof. Now create a storm orb every second. But it has less cast speed. I'm casting it through the other thing, that might matter. Cast storm orbs more frequently. Nice. Hurricane. When you use Tornado, you have a chance to create an additional tornado, but they've reduced pull strength. If you get the 4 points, you'll be guaranteed to double cast, but it will be operating at no pull strength. Storm. They attach to wherever you move. They attach to you. Do double damage. Do 100% more damage. I should say it that way. 100% more damage. But you can no longer make additional ones. Which is kind of an insane thing to do. Like here's 4 points dedicated to double casting tornadoes. Here's a point dedicated to losing it. And you have to max this out to get this. It's fucking insane. It's now instant cast and deals more damage but a 4-second cooldown. Storm Soul. A shorter cooldown and deals more damage. Increase cast speed and area. Pull strength. Okay, you can negate this if you're willing to put points in here, so you can get a double cast for normal pull strength. It's now stationary, but deals less damage. Fire Tornado converts it to fire. Ignites nearby enemies every second. Gets a portion chance to ignite with fire spells as ignite chance per second. Aspect of Storm, 10% increased move speed. 7% per point. Attack and cast speed. Lasts longer, 30% per point. Less mana cost, and Aspect of Storm grants increased mana. And grants increased mana regeneration. Tornado cast Stormbolt nearby enemies every 2 seconds. To cast Stormbolt more frequently, 35% per point. Target enemies from further away. Cool. So I can get that just being cast through this. Costly. But anyway, I'm gonna stop here because I'm actually exceedingly tired. I'll toss down a portal, but I don't expect it to work. Suppose I'm not really losing much if it doesn't. There is a shrine nearby. But anyway, I'll talk to you. Till then. I had been home to play longer, but I'm just really tired right now.